Hello and welcome to another episode of BLG News for February 2016. I'm Marcus Boston. I know, guys, we are already in February. Looks like the 2016 year is already moving forward in full gear, and the months they're passing pretty fast. So, guys, how you doing today? I've got some good stories for the BLG News update for this month, and I'm going to jump right in. And the first one dealing with something that is breaking. This is a really big deal in the state of Maryland right now, and this story is dealing with felons now gaining the right to vote in the state of Maryland. Like I said, this is breaking news, and I'm going to read a little bit from a story that I'm looking at right now from CBS Baltimore. And the story is pretty much saying that committing a crime in Maryland no longer will prevent you from being able to vote. The state Senate votes to restore the right to vote for all ex-felons. Now, this story is developing right now. A little bit of background of what's happened if you haven't really been keeping up with this, but there was a movement to allow felons to be able to vote, and this was presented to Governor Hogan, and Governor Hogan vetoed that bill, so it didn't become law. But today what we're seeing is that in a 29-18 vote, the Senate met the bare majority needed to override Governor Hogan's veto of a bill to restore the voting rights of felons in Maryland. So ex-felons were required to complete their sentences and pay any restitution before being able to vote. So now with this, what this means is now nearly 40,000 ex-felons in Maryland are no longer barred from being able to vote. So again, guys, this is some very big news that's happening right now in the state of Maryland. And what are your thoughts on this? This video, you're going to get this through your email because you're a BLG fan. So this email, you will get the link for this, but this is going to be also presented on BLG's Facebook page. So if you want to drop a comment on our Facebook page when this video and this email goes up, be sure to go and let us know what are your thoughts on this. I mean, this is some big news right now because each state has been dealing with this. And in a lot of states, if you are a felon, then you cannot vote. So here in Maryland, Maryland has taken the steps to say that now an ex-felon can vote. So the second thing that I want to talk about quickly today in the BLG News update is Off the Press, our newsletter Off the Press. If you do not get a mailed copy of this and you would like to get it in the mail, then you can just respond back to this email and let us know that you would like to join the mailing list, and just give us your mailing address, and we'll be sure to go ahead and make sure that you get a mailed copy. But also we do the electronic copies of our newsletter. A lot of people are okay with that. So either or, what our thing is, we just would like to get some good information to you. So again, I'm going to talk about Off the Press because we are already starting to get into that area. I know we are still technically in winter. It's still cold and everything like that, but we already have individuals who are planning their summer vacations and what they're going to do for the rest of the new year. And we were very fortunate this time around to get fresh reviews on cruises, on a cruise voyage that my brother and my sister-in-law, they just took, and this was over the Thanksgiving break and into December of last year, and they had an opportunity to cruise on Norwegian Cruise Line. So if you want to see what their thoughts are, and again, if you're thinking about planning on a cruise vacation or something like that, then you might want to go ahead and make sure that you take a look at their review in Off the Press. I'm going to make sure that I link in with this video and with this email. I'm going to link a copy, the e-version of Off the Press, so you can read it. And they have some very interesting thoughts on their experience with cruising with Norwegian Cruise Lines. I'm not going to give it away. I'm going to go ahead and let you go ahead and click on the link and read their reviews so you can get your own, you can have your own take on everything. All right, the third and final story that I would like to talk about, which, you know what, let me get the Off the Press again, because this is also featured in Off the Press, but it deals with a kudos to me, yes, to me, Marcus Boston, and that is that I was nominated and selected for the National Black Lawyers Top 100. And it's an honor to have been nominated and to have been selected. I am in on the plaintiff side, doing plaintiff work, specifically concentrating in medical malpractice. So again, you can read more about my kudos and a very good event for BLG. You can read about that also in this month's edition of Off the Press. And the last story that I would like to talk with you about today is going to deal with our news reviews. And we had slowed everything down. We were doing once a month because we had reached out to some individuals about their thoughts on how we do things. And we are really concerned about how our fans like us to do things and how we interact with you guys. So we've had some individuals say, well, Marcus, will you guys do more of the video news updates? But then we had some individuals say, well, once a month should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put it out to you. Do you guys think, again, to help us internally with how we're going to try to do these things going forward, do you think that we should stay with the once a month, or should we go with the 2 times a month, for example? And that will be a compromise from doing it every week. Because we have some individuals that say, well, Marcus, every week can be a little bit too much. So the compromise would be either once a month or every 2 weeks. So again, you can just respond back to this email that you got, and you can just let us know your thoughts on that. Should we do these news updates once a month, or should we go ahead and do it 2 times a month? All right, guys, that's going to be it for the BLG News Update for February 2016. I'm Marcus Boston, and we will see you next time. Take care, guys.